The reason why I ask is because I know sometimes women who have had um certain experiences with man, maybe like you mentioned, abuse, whether it be verbal, physical, or both, sometimes make the decision to be with a woman just to see if things would get better or something like that. So
Oh, I become me that got through my little fears with a guy there with the disrespect me or treat me bad. So I never did talk to man for a while, to be honest. I mean, just leave man alone and me leave relationship alone and just did a focus for myself. But me always in a long term relationship and I like me run up and down. Me
yeah,
always try
but
to
don't you think that that is something where
afraid of abuse. Eh?
you think that is something where affect your relationship with a man?
What? Being with a woman?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was just like when I was younger and like wanna explore a bit.
And then
I mean, did I go through a lot of phase with, I mean, just try a thing. But I know my thing,
so you did that for experimental purpose, like you just want to know what it was like, or like
Alright.
I guess
What
what
I
I try
did,
to ask you is what lead you to it, like what make you
because me did curiosity, to be honest. Me did curious and me did vulnerable at the time when it happened the first time, and me that go through my phase as me tell you with me breaking off at the time.
mm-hmm.
And if it just happen, me I say, I wonder if me like this or like. Me say, let me try again. Because me I weigh my option because me never sure at the time what me did want, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing it, me realize no connection in it for me. No, me not feel nothing.
So
It's not my thing.
what was it that you was like, was there something where I look for, like
Me don't know, maybe probably I look for comfort or look for something different, maybe. I don't know. We just need to try.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with exploring, because sometimes that's what people do. You go and you explore, but um, for me, it was never even a thought like what I look like. Because as a man, it's like we just know say it was never something for me. I mean, I've never been. I've been through heartbreak. Like there's this one girl who me used to talk to. Um, I love. When me say I love that girl, I say I love that girl. And one evening she just come in and said to me, say, "Yo, yeah, hear me? Me done. I'm done. Like the kind of man that you are to me, me not used to. Me not used to having a good man in my life. The man that me used to a man who just come around and we have a little fun and go about in business. But you're there and you love me for who I am, and the way you take care of me and things. So that was that one. And then I can't say that I've been through like another heartbreak like that. That to me, sitting back, when I sit back and look on it, like that was the worst heartbreak I've ever been through.
Oh my
Because
God.
it affected me in such a way that where I couldn't function. Like me literally couldn't function. Thankfully it wasn't a thing where me wouldn't bathe or me wouldn't take care of myself in a certain way, but it's like I wasn't sleeping right. Me
Oh
day at
my
work, and I just couldn't function. Like me couldn't function. And one of my brethren
Wow.
realized that them thing they are going with me, And him a say to me, say, yo, what's going on? And I say, me alright, man. Him a say, nah, man, I know you this, me know you. Like, this is not how you operate. So then me said to him one evening, like, after we got done working, me I say, yo, come here, go hang out, man. And um, that at the time we was working in Mobile. So we left Bush Park where I work and come downtown Mobile. And, you know, me and him a chill and me I said to him, say, alright, brother. We sit down, there's a spot where we normally go and go eat and things. So we sit down there where I eat and me just start tell him what I go on with me. And him I say, yo, really? And me I say, yeah, man. But in spite of all of that, it was never a thing where me I say, yo, me don't give woman a break. Hold on a second there.
That was again. I forgot to.
Oh yeah, the part of conversation I was in was when me tell my brethren,
Oh, relationship.
yeah, what was going on with me and um, you know, all these things was happening. And they must say, yeah, me notice there's something not going on with you, but all me ask you say what go on, you wouldn't tell me. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, but like me say, um, the heartbreaks that I've been through, thank God, thank God, the creator of this universe, that I've never even entertained the thought of being with a man like that, because me know um you know, for some man it's like it can be a thing like that where them been having relationships, the woman may use them or even abuse them, because that's something I talk about a lot. Like a lot of men suffer in silence because their wives or girlfriends treat them horrible, but man don't verbalize it, and simply because there's like a certain level of stigma that is attached to it. Like if you come on road and I say, yo, you know, so my wife kicked me down last night, like people laugh off of you for that. And so and because of that reason why when men go through abuse, they don't speak about it, because it's like how you feel make your woman do them things that you and so forth and so on. So I understand, however, that it's different for women. A lot of women are like, yo, I'm tired of men and them cheating ways or them lying ways and so forth. But hold on now, sister. Women lie, women cheat as well. But we're not going to just use that as a basis of our argument. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, some of us men are horrible people. That's just the truth. Some women are just horrible individuals as well. But I'm just always curious as to why a woman who had a relationship or have experienced physical or verbal abuse or both, it's like she just say, well, to hell with all man, you know, try a thing with Sandra, because Sandra, as somebody who, I'm just using Sandra for example because I don't know no Sandra like, but yeah, so it's like Sandra is already on that side, and so you know she will touch me certain way sometimes, and it's like, yeah, you start hang out with Sandra, and next thing you know, you find yourself in a bed with another woman. So now, you know, you're in there, and of course, like you said earlier, like there are certain things where even though you're in a bed with a woman, it's like you're not gonna get out of it. Like certain things, it's just not there, because it's like it's a man, and a man is able to do certain things to you physically, emotionally, mentally in a bed that a woman can't. And I mean, I guess I want to say that some people would argue that, oh, that's not true, so woman better in a bed than man. But the thing is, no, it may be the feeling, but God designed it for a man and a woman to be in a bed, not two man or two woman. So that's just where my curiosity is. Like I've always wanted to learn, like what caused you to be curious about another woman and then to carry out the action. So that's so for you. It was it. You say it was more so curiosity that led you to that place where you say, I go see what it like, and so that's why you end up in the position there.
That is one of the main
So mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I have gay friends. But some of them feel like gay guys, they say, like, it's not really, they don't go through anything because one of them would have to be like,
You're kind of muffled. I'm not hearing you
like,
properly.
huh?
You're kind of muffled, like you have your hand over the speaker or something. Oh, that's why.
I turn it off. You hear me now?
Much better, yeah.
Hear me turn off the Bluetooth. No, I have a gay friend. I have a couple gay friends. He said to me that why I really do this is just like friend of mine go to school or whatever. See it like that or whatever. It's like you just in a
I'm not hearing you now. I don't know what happened.
Hold on, let me put this in a case. It's like I go keep on and connect to it.
Okay, because I'm hearing you much better now.
Yeah. This you can connect to Bluetooth so I can turn it off. So some of them go through abuse. Some of them just say, okay, I was born to be gay. I was like that. I attracted to men from a tender age when I go to school. Stuff like that they share with me and tell me.
For me, the argument of I was born that way it's stupid. Let me just put it away. It's to me that's stupid. You wasn't born that way. And the reason why I say you wasn't born that way is because you didn't know you were gay at 6 months old. You didn't know you was gay at 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. You didn't know that. You wasn't even sexually active. So how would you even have the feeling of
attraction, like I admire men?
But you at 5 years old you want to play with toys. What
over here is not the same.
I mean,
it
like may be different. Right. And I'm not saying I'm trying to shoot down what they're saying. I'm just saying the idea of saying that you was born that way is not true. Yeah, over time you start develop the feelings toward a man. And I think sometimes too, because you never explore, I never really understood why you're feeling attracted to a man. So because it's been left unchecked. It's been left unchecked. So it's like you never go to your mommy. And especially we know in the Caribbean community. If you go to your mother and tell your mother say you're attracted to man, it's like, oh Lord, the whole community are gonna know about it. Right? So you're over here, so it's different. You come to your parents and say, Mommy, me think me attracted to man. Oh no, my son, that's sweet. And it's like they support it. But I think the thing is what we need to understand is when your child come to you and say to you, say, then feel the attraction to same sex, whether it's a boy or a girl. Okay, let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Where is this? How long you have this feeling? How the feeling start? It's like, let's talk about it so we can figure out how to get you, steer you away from that, because no parent, and as much as parents may support it, I think, do you really want your child to be that way. Because when they born a man, you expect that they're going to grow up and go find a woman and make some grandbabies and get married and live a life.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I think that it different for me because of course I'm a father of a son, and me and my son have these conversations all the time. Like, I need to know if you have
Uh-huh.
if you have feelings toward no man. I seriously need to know because we need to have a conversation. No, me not gonna beat you over the head with a bat, not in a literal sense, but I'm not gonna cuss you out and whatever. But
Yeah.
I need to know where you're getting these things from so I can help you to guide you in the right direction. But I'm not just gonna
Yeah.
jump out and say I'm in support of it because truthfully I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I'm a parent who's coming from the Bible's perspective and I know what God says about homosexuality. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to chastise you because that's what you want. Whatever, I'm going to try to guide you away from it because that's not what God wants. I know that He want
Uh-huh.
for your life. And as a father, that's definitely not what I want for your life. So, when them say they feel they were born that way, I'm like, no, we're going to have a conversation about it. How do you know you was born that way? But I can understand that as you grow up, you start
Uh-huh.
develop these feelings.
Uh-huh.
So where them feelings they come from and so forth. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much. So them say them feel that way, then whatever the case. So
Yeah.
so what is the relationship like with you and your gay friends?
No, we just talk normal, like they will sit down and tell me stories about their life and stuff like that, you know?
Oh, okay.
And what they've been through and stuff like that, yeah.
Because I also
Mm-hmm.
understand that on the other end, like, yeah, some people molestation happen at an early age.
I have a girlfriend, my uncle have sex with him when he was 10.
Right. And so it's funny
Mm-hmm. My
because
own uncle.
mhm,
Yeah, one uncle. Molested him when he was 10 years old. We know quite a few people there, their family member broke them on that certain things.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I,
Yeah.
I remember I was reading an article, and it was just like so mind blowing to me. Um, and it happened for both men and women. Like, we were talking about um, rape.
Uh-huh.
So, like, right in the process of being molested like that, naturally, the body gravitate toward the pleasures of sex. And so even though the sex is not happening willingly, the body
Uh-huh.
begins to respond to it the way the body normally would.
Uh-huh.
And so it's almost like for a moment, it no longer the brain no longer is registering what is happening to you, but the brain is not registering the feeling
The
that you're getting
feeling.
from it. So now it's almost like for some people, this article was saying for some people, they start responding to it in the kind of way
Uh-huh.
there. And
Uh-huh.
so because of the response that they're having to it, it's almost like the person, the individual. I know that's why I'm saying it sounds so crazy. Like the person is actually enjoying it. The person at that moment, the person is enjoying it. But then afterwards, it's like the brain flip.
Uh-huh.
And now the mind is saying, do you understand what just happened to you? And so it brings a level of confusion. Like, I know that I was being molested. Why was I enjoying it?
Uh-huh.
So
Trying to mash up the mental state now.
so that's why they are like that. It's almost like, I don't know for sure, but you it's like me understand say some people who've been molested like that. It's like it bring a level of bipolarness
Uh-huh.
because you hate what happened to you, But then sometimes you sit down and you reminisce, and the brain have the ability to send us back into a place and time where to a specific moment in our lives where it's like, oh man, you know what, boy, I know this was happening to me, but man, he was so good at what he was doing. So it's like you're so caught in these two different mind frame. And I've wow, you're opening a whole can of worms because I used
No,
to
me understand. Me understand when you say cause somebody me know stay so, but he don't come out and tell me say Maggie. And most of these men nowadays believe it or not, they are bisexuals. They love woman and they love man. Me reason with people on my phone and they tell me say they attracted to man. Me reason with this guy on my phone a couple years ago and the guy said to me say, you know me like man and me like woman, but me never tell nobody yet.
right, because the stigma that is attached to it. Like if you tell people say you like man and woman, like people that say yo, because that's why I always believe understanding is always good. It's always good to have understanding.
You understand? Yes.
Because the thing is, if you don't understand, you can make assumptions, and assumptions will make you seem foolish because you truly don't understand exactly what we're talking about. And so it's like, again, you don't talk about it because you're going to be chastised for it.
Yeah, and people judge you right away.
Right. So why is it that? So again, that's why I think sometimes me have the mind of a child. I me use that terminology because me we ask 1,000 questions because me no want assume so me know what you talk about.
What you talk about?
So me we ask you 99,000 questions. Hey, why did this happen? What lead you to that? What did?
Yeah. Cause you want to know exactly what go down, like how it started, what makes it start, you know.
And then it helps me to understand that if you see certain things happening, oh, remember we talked to Mary and we talked to Peter about certain things, and oh, I can see that these are the little signs around me. So hey, it means run. You need to get away from this place.
Yeah.
So, cause sometimes I think we put ourselves in these positions as well. Not saying that it's whatever happened to you should happen to you, but you know you have no business going to this party trying ecstasy. You've never tried ecstasy before. Where you got a party go try ecstasy for?
True.
And so you make yourself, again, not saying that what happened to you is okay. But when you can't function from a cognitive perspective, like you don't really understand where you're going around you, and you're in this place and people haul and pull you and then take advantage of you because you're under the influence so much so that it's like you never realize what happened to you until afterwards.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
yeah, so may I say first we have, because sometimes we have whatever happened to it is our own doing. It's our few responsibility. Right? It's our responsibility. Like if me I drive down the road and run the red light and me get in one crash, that's my fault. It's my responsibility. Because I know so me shouldn't run the red light. So then people get to one place where now it's like, oh, you're blaming the person who licked the man who run the red light. But that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. What I'm saying, like, you go at this club, you drink, you take some ecstasy, God forbid you get molested. People are focusing on the person who molested you. But no one is saying then, why were you going to this party and taking ecstasy and carrying on? Didn't you know that it's a possibility that something could have happened?
Could have happened, yeah.
So why put yourself in that position? But we do it because, I'm just having fun. We do it under the name of having fun, not realizing we're putting yourself in a position where something can happen to you. And because we don't, enough times we believe we don't want to take responsibility for the things that happen to you. So
True.
We do all these things, but it's to me it's always when me hear a man or a woman talk about that, it's like coming from a place like Jamaica where we know say um homosexuality is frowned upon, like you know Batman business, yo, we know depend that.
Mm-hmm.
But coming here and being in here and you walk down the street and you see them, you going at the store, the restaurants, the dep on the bus, the plane, the train, they're there. So me just get to the point. I'm like, instead of just stigmatizing and judging without understanding, let me learn to get the understanding. As to say, hey, that's why I
Yeah.
start. I read a lot of different literatures about all these different things, and like that's why I say earlier, I have the brain of a child. I always want to learn. Me need to know. Me need to know why things are the way they are. Me need to know why things work the way they work.
Uh-huh.
And it has helped me over time to be a better person, because while me I
Yeah.
learn about different people and situations and things, it's also teaching me about myself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes something might happen to you that you tell me about, and then I come to realize that, oh, but me did say that same thing there already. Or me did in the situation there and that's what I did. So okay, so if me did do such and such differently, so now it's like in the process of learning, I'm teaching myself. So
Yeah.
yeah, when we get into conversations like these, I can go on and on and on because it's like I just that's how my brain work. Like I always want to learn. So that's why I asked you that question earlier when you tell me that you was. I don't know if you want to talk about it because I know sometimes you can get emotional about these things, but
About what?
the abuse, was it what kind of abuse was it?
Like, it was like verbal abuse mostly.
Okay.
Yes. Mostly verbal abuse, not like physical abuse, really. No.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Well,
That's not physical abuse.
yeah. No, I never had physical abuse.
But we
It's just
know also
verbal
that
abuse.
sometimes verbal abuse can be more dangerous than
It can be
physical.
very dangerous. If me never
Yeah,
have a
man.
strong mind, I feel like me that bad already.
Yeah.
And me thank God say it not reach certain level of where me can't contain myself or hold certain things, you know. Me glad say me can pray and me know how to pray and me know there's a father. Because if I never him do it, me not tell you no lie, I would be here talking to you years ago. Me done did already. Me I tell you, me have some testimony, me I tell you, man. Me go through some things in my life, you wouldn't believe it.
I would love to hear. Um, I would love for you to share one of your testimony one of them time with me. Um,
I will
Whenever
one
time
day.
you're ready. I'm not. You don't feel pressured. I mean, if you don't want to, me understand. But if you feel so inclined
I
to
will
share your
tell you
testimony,
one day.
but because again, that's just me. Like I like hearing. To some people, it's different, but for me, it's not because it's like when I hear about someone else's testimony, it's like, man, it's a way of telling me, like, dude, don't stop complaining about things because you hear what this person been through.
Mm-hmm.
That is,
Yeah.
it's
Me
worse
have
than
so
what
much.
you've been through. And you complain about what you've been through. So it's not to make a comparison to, oh, well, at least I didn't go through that, so I'm glad. But it's not that for me. It really is, man. Like, yo, mad respect because you've been through that and here you are today,
Mm-hmm.
surviving and living your life. Um, you know. But anyway, go back to the verbal abuse. We know the destruction, not even damage, but the destruction that verbal abuse cause.
When I time I did that thing, me start to believe when somebody I tell me say how me feel.
That's one of the biggest thing with verbal
When I
abuse.
time it start play a trick with my mind, and me I say, no, Lisha, get a hold of yourself. What you doing? Like, we have to really touch back and just back and I say, but wait, this can't to me. I'm not this person. Why me make this person abuse me like that? It's like when I time do it, me feel like say me I go mad. Me there I find a piece of depression for months.
Yeah, that's what it does. I mean, that's what it does. It all make you feel like
Verbal abuse is
everything what
worse.
them say about you is true because you lack self awareness. You lack self awareness to say, oh,
Sorry.
this
I
actually.
say by growing up,
Mm,
I've been growing up, I've been abused.
mm,
Mm.
I'm sorry I had to
I've been growing
experience
up.
that.
I mean, me live for today apologize to me. Because me auntie the things them I go did and I'll come go apologize to me for how she treated me when I was younger. Mm.
See, the mess up
Because
part about that is like they know exactly what they might do, but for some reason they can't because it's a cycle, you know. It's a cycle. They okay. Great grandma has been abused. Grandma has been abused. Mommy been abused. Mommy pass it down to him picnic. Your picnic pass it down. And so we talk about we have to get to a point where we have to cut it off. It's like we talk about the generational curse. We have to get to a place where
yeah.
like, hey, because this happened to me, me no want this to happen to me picnic. We should have a picnic. So it stopped with me. But they were
Yes.
not able to do that. They were not able to do that. So I mean, I don't know. Hold on a second. I'm getting a call. Hold on. Hey, brother. Oh. Oh.
Okay, hold on and long, you know, me just go wrong.
Hold on. Hold on. Yo, brother. Yeah, what's up?
What you doing?
Yeah, I'm there at the house, you know.
What you doing?
Nothing really right now. Me just up on a call.
Oh, Kerry said me if you come over the master.
Kerry, so
Me if you come. Me tell him say now come now way.
okay.
Me and Dwight will come. You know where we don't?
What? No, I don't have his address.
You know our name and address?
I don't.
Okay. She must send it to me. She will send address. Need to send it to you.
So what time we supposed to be over there?
Me no know master. Then it's a quiet challenge. Just care this stuff. Then we will look after gun.
Okay.
You know. You say chin baby boy?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I saw that in the men's ministry group.
Okay. You say get bounced in baby boy.
Yeah, and you tell me say a baby boy might get beforehand. So.
You know, okay, food for them too. And then send container to put food in there for them.
Okay.
Alright. You don't know what time you normally go to my place there now, so I don't know.
Alright, well, 2:30 now. Me call you when we're ready. Me come pick you up, me and you can go over there together.
Alright.
Alright, brother. Yeah, man. Yes, I'm back.
Yes, dear, back.
I'm back.
Here. When I talk about things that happen to me, I don't know why I get emotional. Maybe I have so much bottled up inside of me because I don't express myself
Yeah.
on a regular basis, and I don't express myself to people. They always said like, Lisha, you always hold things inside. You always not talk. You don't have nobody to talk to. You don't talk to people. But it's just that people feel me so much that I go silent now. You know, I don't express no more. I don't talk no more. I just whatever.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, we live in a day and age where talking to someone about what you've been through should be held and say, listen, it's a conversation. Because I was saying something to someone, and I said to the person, I said, listen, when someone comes to you and say, hey, what I'm about to say to you is between you and I. It simply
It's very
means between you
confidential.
and I. So don't even repeat it to your husband or your wife at the end of the day. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
between you and the person because they trust you enough to open up to you about whatever it is that they're experiencing. So please understand that
Yeah.
that's simply what it is. So
Like
take
it's
it
just.
and then don't be spreading it all over the place because some of us I honestly think that some of us do not know how to keep our mouth shut. We really don't.
That's true. That's why I keep finish it. Me not talk to people or nothing. Because people feel me so much in their life that I'm just done.
Right. And so see, the thing is, just like I was telling you earlier, when I was going through what I was going through, but this guy, he and I are like best friends. And so
Mm-hmm.
I talking to him has it helped me because I had so much going on mentally. I mean, never
Mm-hmm.
have. I just kept it to myself. But when me talk to my virgin about it, it's like there's a sense of relief. Like, all right, somebody else know what's going on with me, and some of my
Mm-hmm.
brethren know. Like after me and him talk that day, when we done work, he would just sit around at work and wait for my shift to be over, and him like, yo, let's go hang out, man. Let's go grab some food, and at the end of the day, and so doing that, him being around as a support for me helped
Mm-hmm.
me to me start to come out of this hole that I was in because that's the only way we could have used it. Describe it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
hole of depression and stress and anxiety and all these other things. And so
Yeah.
it helped me to just come out of that. And so throughout this process, my brethren did it for me and thing. And me tell him every day. Sometimes I remind him about him and I say, yo, you don't even understand the respect that I have for you for what you did for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't know whom it I really talked about this thing. Because again,
Mm-hmm.
most times we as a people we don't really tell people what we're going through, especially if it's something personal. And so yeah, you are going to get emotional when you start talking about it because like I said earlier, the brain has the opportunity to send you back into that specific moment and you feel the same emotions that you was going through back then. So when you talk about it, it makes you become emotional. But it does help to have somebody to talk to. And it's like it is that way where I can tell you that I have so many people
Mm-hmm.
who come to me and tell me about some things that them I go through. I'm like, sometimes I look upon them like, why you just tell me all of this? Not in a bad way, but I'm like, what makes you think you could come to me of all the people that you have in your life? You come to me and tell me
Mm-hmm.
them things about yourself. And then oftentimes I'm told like, yo, I just you just look like somebody who me can talk to. And sure enough, when them tell me them thing, I'm like, appreciate you telling me, but listen, you ain't gotta worry about it because from here on out, it ain't going nowhere. You would never hear me repeat this to even myself. So
Yeah.
you develop this level of understanding and of trust for people who you're surrounded by. And when people tell you things, man, please learn to just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
People understand that. So that's why I just not bother.
And then you hear them and say, "Oh, you don't talk to nobody." Yeah, because I can't trust you. Even with husbands and wives, it's like there are sometimes you can't even trust the person you're married to if you tell them certain things because they're not gonna keep them out.
Mm-hmm. True.
So it's yeah.
That is so true. Oh my God. That is so true. That's why people say me just, oh, you just did by yourself all the time. You just this, you just that. But these not like you want to be alone, but it's just
That's
how
where the
people
peace
deal with
is.
you.
That's where the peace is. That's where the comfort is. That's where,
And I find peace alone. You remember the other day me said to you?
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Me say to you, me say I'm comfortable and happy by myself here. I don't know what my friend and company around me. Yeah. I
You,
don't need this all my
you
friend
don't
and
need,
company and
we,
this
we
and that.
don't, we definitely don't
I'm
need that.
okay. And everybody laugh with you is a good laugh.
That is true.
And everybody laugh with you is a good laugh, and everything glitter gold and everything shine a diamond.
That's so
People
true.
are so fake. Sad. You have to be careful who you let
Yeah,
in
man.
your circle.
Got to be very careful of who you let into your circle. No doubt
Very
about that.
careful. Sheep in a wolf clothing.
Because not a lot of genuine people that's left out there. Not a lot of
I'm
genuine
telling
people
you,
that's left out there.
everybody's like, they're just attacking you. Like they just come in your life, come try to fail you and mess you up.
Because one of the things that I've come to realize about that, see, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? When you tell me, you give me your testimony. And so instead of looking at it from a perspective like, man, this person has really been through a lot and try to be a support, you take that and you measure it up to what you've been through. And I say, well, at least that never happened to me. And so then take that and use it as a way of saying, oh, you come out here and go and like say you this, that, and the third, and this did happen to you before, and that did happen to you. Because we as people, it's like we take a certain level of pride, which is stupid, of pride to say there's people out there who is suffering worse than me. So it's like, well, I don't feel too bad about it because, there are people worse than me. And so that's a wrong way of looking at it. It's a wrong way of looking at it because it's like, why are you excited or why are you so okay with knowing that this person is going through worse than you? Like,
yeah.
It's like as long as somebody is suffering more than I am, then I'm okay with it, and that's just messed up. That's messed up.
Oh my God, I've been through some things with people. Me just clutch now,
Yeah, no, man. Like it's.
And when they say, "Oh, Letitia, you're so selfish. You don't know anything about you." Me say, what is there to know about?
You don't need to know nothing about me because the truth is, when you know about me, you're gonna take that information that I give to you, and then go tell.
Yeah, and when you say you have a best friend, that if best friend you have a best friend, you're not gonna tell your business, and the best friend have a best friend,
exactly.
So it's a cycle. It's like you don't know who to trust. It's like when you tell them something now, it's like they carry back, go tell somebody else, and they might.
And it never stops. It never stops.
I don't know how me can hold certain things and hold myself and hold certain, and people can't do it. And it is so simple. If somebody come to you and say it's confidential, you can't just take confidential.
They don't see it that way. They don't see.
Just take it so.
They don't see it as being confidential.
I can't understand. I can't see through it. The truth that I keep my circle very small and I keep myself to myself most of the time.
Yep.
So then say claim to say me selfish.
You're selfish. You're better off just not. Yeah, you're better off just not having certain people in your circle. You're just better off. Period.
I know me not like too much woman company. Me not like when woman run me too long.
Listen.
Me not like them.
I have learned that a lot of them say, "Oh man, this and that." I'm like, yo, you don't even know. You think man vicious?
Me rather want to talk to a man about anything that I want, because a male was my best friend, but he died. He was my best friend and I could go to and talk to about any little thing.
You think man vicious? I was listening to this thing and the man said, listen, you think man are vicious people? You need to get around like the what you call it now? The folks who got money, like their wives. Get around their wives and you will see how vicious women can be. The money people, him wife, them one day. Yo, you know how they're out there people, man. Vicious, man. Vicious people.
Some people.
So
Stay
sometimes, man,
behind the game.
you gotta know that, like, yeah, you don't, yeah, vicious, man. Talk about coach.